let's face it, ninjas are ruined. This month started with the best of intentions, alright, but somewhere along the line I forgot one simple truth. The majority of ninja fiction is awful. Think about it, what was the last good ninja movie you saw? Ninja Assassin? The Warrior's Way?
Ninjas. Damn.
That line wasn't even in the movie. But you know what was?
Why'd you become a sad flute?
I would give you context for that line, but it would just make it even dumber. Let's not kid ourselves. Sturgeon's Law exists for a reason, and you'd be forgiven for thinking it's because of how many god-awful ninja movies, cartoons, and video games there are. Yeah, we don't watch a ninja movie necessarily for the plot, but must we bury our expectations lower than groundwater just to see some poor schmuck catch a shuriken to the eye? The month is nearly over, and I wanted to end it on a high note, which is why I chose the Yodaden movie, Wrath of the Ninja. And then it all bottomed out. Yodaden was a 3-part OVA released over a year and a half in the late 80s, and it proved to be one of the more popular releases of its day. So popular, in fact, that MTV Japan took the series and edited it down to a 90-minute film, which, as we well established by now, is a terrible idea! While the US did eventually get an official release of the 3-part OVA series unedited, it wasn't until 2006. So until then, all we had was the movie version, which sucks on ice. Every problem you expect from a hack job is clear, present, and accounted for in Wrath of the Ninja, to the point where it almost becomes unfollowable. It's like riding the most schizophrenic roller coaster in existence. I should mention that if you decide to ignore my review and purchase this DVD anyway, don't do it. Ever. Why? Because this is a bootleg. That's right, some douche nozzle ripped the Central Park Media DVD of Wrath of the Ninja and encoded it to another DVD to sell. Worse yet, this is the only version widely available to purchase. Hell, they were selling this in freaking Tower Records once upon a time. That is how proliferate this DVD is. I mean, even ignoring the moral ramifications of putting money in pirates' pockets, the transfer is just terrible. You'd think that people who steal movies and sell them for a living would know well enough to turn off freaking B-frames during the encoding, assholes! The next time you see one of these peddlers try to hawk these DVDs or CDs in the subway or downtown, punch them in the throat! So, our Ninja Month concludes with a review of a kneecapped version of a previously good anime that you can't even legally purchase anymore. Welcome to the fucking internet! We begin our film with our heroine taking a much-needed water break when she's ambushed by some thugs, who sound like they're the freaking Gelgamex.
I'm going to give you some advice. You'd better just give us the money. Right?
Take your filthy hands off me.
What?
I have never!
Kazumi. Three-way thrust.
Three-way thrust, eh? What? You expect me to have a comeback for that? I don't do Bush League material, Sage. Bush.
Saburo! Jiro! You bastard!
Ah, the tried and true you bastard. The fuck you of lazy script adaptation. This isn't gonna turn into a counting gag or anything like that, but just know that if I did pursue this joke, my grandchildren would have to take up the reins to finish it. Of course, her dispatching the grunts causes their boss to pimp in and engage her in a pissing contest. But it looks like this will have to be put on hold because more ninjas pop in and start even more shit. And holy god, the music. Alright, who set the Casio to auto-tuned fart? Jesus Christ, I've heard better sounds coming out of my dying cat! Rest in peace, Professor Burger.
Be careful. They're not human.
Nice one, Captain Obvious. What tipped you off, the bird faces? The Birdmen proved to be too much for the two, but as if to drive us over the edge of sanity, this guy pops in and drives them all out, by the power of his creepiness alone.
So, that chanting was from you.
Don't worry. There's no need to thank me. I couldn't stand by and watch the clumsiness of members of the world's 3 schools of shadow warriors.
And it went wherever I it go.
Jesus. That voice could give pedophile clowns scream yourself awake nightmares. By far and away, this character is the most memorable thing about this movie. He's basically here to dump exposition on the viewer, explaining that these two are from 2 of 3 master schools of ninja arts, but why must he do it in that voice?
Ooh, the cicadas have started chirping.
Which means it's time for me to feed the children I'm keeping in my puzzle basement.
And just as quickly as he came, he goes, presumably leaving a piece of himself in each of their souls. Well, I'm happy you bopped in and gave me my new night terrors for the next month, pedo monk. You're putting my therapist's kids through college. So naturally, having nearly killed each other in a pointless duel, these two become fast friends and travel to the 3rd school of ninjutsu. I just realized I haven't dubbed either one of these two with one of my patented nicknames yet. Empty Vessel and Blank Slate are suddenly ambushed by, you guessed it, more ninjas. Christ, this movie feels like it's starting over again.
My people have the home field advantage, so you'd better not make any suspicious moves.
Like making a baseball reference in feudal Japan? But all is well, as it seems these ninjas are just members of the school they were searching for, led by their charismatic leader, Unallocated Space. He leads them to their elder, where they have a long, drawn-out conversation that basically distills to this. All 3 have a weapon that's considered holy and is destined to vanquish evil, and that the one behind the attacks on their villages, including the most recent one, is...
Then it must be Nobunaga controlling them.
Nobunaga?
Unless he's currently transferring his power into a golden evil statue, then he's not my Nobunaga. No one is. As you can expect from an edited-down film, the narrative jumps around with little in the ways of actual connective tissue. The 3 need to be somewhere, so they go there and arrive. It's the very definition of going through the paces, made worse by the fact that they obviously edited most of the slower character moments out, but left just enough in to be completely pointless.
I was such a crybaby, and my brother would always be there silently beside me. I was never really able to do anything. And my brother was good at everything.
Except for being alive. He sucks at that. The fact that she's monologuing about her past is bad enough, but she's speaking to a character we don't even know the name of. There might have been a deeper well to Empty Vessel here, but stripped down as the film is, her character development has been reduced to tacked-on filler. And speaking of filler, Nobunaga's demon pals attack Unallocated Space's village and pretty much reduces it to rubble by exploding it somehow.
Janai Saikusa! Janai, why are you attacking us? What is Nobunaga scheming?
The brat from before. I have nothing to say. To a woman who's about to die.
You bastard!
Empty Vessel manages to slay antagonist A by landing what can only be described as a flying missile pile driver, but he has the last laugh as he manages to snipe Miss Kikyo here, you know, the one that was hearing Empty Vessel's sob story a minute ago. Oh no, this sacrifice is totally not undermined by the fact that I don't give 2 shits about this character. Not in the slightest.
Kikyo. You can't die.
Where did this relationship come from? She just met this woman. They've exchanged maybe 2 lines of dialogue between each other max. And her death has her broken up just as much as her brother's? Why should we give a fuck about this? Is it just so that Empty Vessel now has the pissed off attitude to summon the true power of her sacred weapon and defeat the demon that destroyed her village, which just shows up for no reason? Because if so, this is definitely the laziest use of this cliche I have ever seen. Ever. But who knows? Maybe the edit took out all the scenes where Kikyo and her became fast friends over a single night! We finally get a look at our villainous Nobunaga, and, well, he looks like Nobunaga. Hard to fuck up one of Japan's most infamous historical bad guys. Just slap a Salvador Dali mustache on him and make him ambitious. Boom!
Ranmaru, what is Oboro doing? How long do they need to defeat a small region such as Iga?
Hey, don't go be disrespecting my Richard Keel Nobunaga Choda. Let's see you try to act with a mouthful of steel. So, if this is our Nobunaga, then this must be our Ranmaru Mori, his loyal manservant and attendant. True fact, by the way, Ranmaru and Nobunaga were speculated to have been in a homosexual relationship together, despite Ranmaru never living past the age of 17. History! Ruining everything since forever. So it seems that Nobunaga has his sights set on conquering Iga, which means our three heroes are there to stop his advance. See what I mean about this disjointed narrative? They're just here, because the story needs them to be here. Oh wait, I'm talking over the fact that there seems to be treachery afoot.
It's strange. Nobunaga's troops marched along a secret road that only we should know.
Could there be an informant?
There couldn't be an informant.
I'd like to think that he got that knife in his back for that line read. By the by, thanks for telling us that there's a leak within your ranks movie instead of showing us. Lord knows that no one's paying attention to your story enough to glean that for themselves, especially after the umpteenth scene of your barely there characters rehashing the exact same information we've heard a dozen times over. Still, it looks like betrayal is the last thing on their mind right now, as an ambush has reduced their party down to 2.
Shadow Warriors, I am one of the 7 ninja of Oboro.
Shadow Warriors, come out to play! Wow, that is acting, my friend. He sounds like Kaiser Neko if he stubbed his toe on a...
No.
Wait, no, he doesn't sound like you, or no, you're not going to do the bit where you stub your toe on a coffee table?
Both.
Read you loud and clear, buddy. Maybe next time.
No. And lose my Skype name.
Oh, he is such a kidder. Of course, this fight is broken up by the power of convenience when a ninja, who for no real reason looks like Kikyo, bops in and saves their bacon. She's part of a ninja clan that most are speculating are the ones that sold them out to Nobunaga, and they debate this for an entire scene. In the interest of saving you all the time and frustration, I shall now perform for you my abbreviated version of the following scene. I think we're being betrayed. The only thing that comes out of this nearly 5-minute redundant scene is that Blank Slate decides to say fuck it and gets out while the getting's good, reasoning that it's pointless to throw their lives away fighting Nobunaga. Oh, and it turns out that the clan did betray them because one of Nobunaga's demons was possessing the Kikyo look-alike. Oh, for the love of... Why should we fucking care?
It seems like we have lost this war completely.
Yeah, our families and friends are burning in a pit of fire and everything we have built will be lost to the ages. Ha ha! Oh, and this demon looks like he's this woman's stand. There you go, JoJo fans, you got your reference. Though the head ninja tells unallocated space and empty vessel to go and that they can handle the demon... Call me unconvinced. And sure enough, it takes unallocated space to unlock the potential of his holy weapon to put down the demon-possessed woman for good. Renewed with determination, the two set out to finally kill Nobunaga once and for all. But instead waste 4 minutes of screen time killing his double instead.
Thanks for that one!
I'm gonna level with you people. We're approaching the 3rd act, read 3rd episode, and almost nothing happens. Just a lot of back and forth about killing Nobunaga and Blank Slate here unable to get over himself and finally join the other two in taking him down. If it seems like I'm being very dismissive about the plot and characters, I want you all to understand something very important right here. This was never meant to be a movie. Even in this broken down state, it's obvious that this was meant to be a 3-episode series, considering each act is a segmented story that focuses on one of the 3 heroes, and them bucking up and learning how to unlock the potential of their holy weapon. That, in of itself, is a perfectly fine plot structure to tailor around a series, so long as you build around it with solid character development and decent action. Well, what happens when you take that same structure, but remove the development and other character moments? Well, you get character deaths that just come out of nowhere and are treated like they're the end of the world even though the audience just met them, and seemingly forced backstories that might as well just paste a post-it note to each main character's chest saying you have an arc now. Basically, it all comes down to a very simple law that all fiction follows. You can present the material, but unless you can make the audience care, then it's all for naught. It looks like our heroes are finally ready and raring to storm Nobunaga's castle, and even Blank Slate seems like he's pulled on his big boy pants and joins the other 2, even though the last time we saw him, he was talking to that creepy bald guy and made no implications that he was doubting his decision to leave them, and yet here he is without any kind of notion of forewarning that his better angels wanted that. Ah!
It seems that you made it in time.
When did you get here?
That edit felt like it just took an upper decker in my brain. What the fuck was that about? Between unallocated space dealing with a child demon, because of course there's a child demon, and the twist that Ranmaru was just playing Nobunaga all along, somehow, it appears that everything is coming to a head, or at the very least, finally giving narrative reason for Blank Slate to unlock the powers of his holy weapon, thus uniting the 3 weapons and vanquishing a giant demon that erupts from Nobunaga's head. I think. But all is still not well.
The last Oboro was the one who guided you here. You finally realized it.
Oh no, the guy who was plainly a demon turns out to be a demon. Wait, what the fuck?
We fashioned his memory, and he did well in his duty to guide you, so you could defeat the demon god of the darkness.
Wait, you wanted your demon leader and kin to be killed? Why?
You're saying that centuries ago, you gave us this sword so that we could kill your own men?
Yes, indeed.
Ranmaru? Are you what they call an idiot?
The objects which turn your emotions into energy. Those are the swords of sorcery that you possess. Observe. An enormous power was generated when your thoughts and the thoughts of the Oboro collided. It distorted space-time. The path to the underworld is opening.
So you created those 3 weapons, which were really emotional conduits with which you hope to harness their energy so that you could open a portal to hell. Okay, there are many questions that I could ask right now, but the one that I want answered most is, did the other demons know about this plan? I mean, you said that you had to tailor Sweetness's memories here to suit your plan, but what about the other demons? Were they on board with dying for you, or did you tailor their memories too? And if you did, what if they succeeded in killing them? Your plan just backfired on a level that even Pete Carroll feels embarrassed for you. And Pete Carroll sucks! Go Niners. But even this monumentally brainless plot point doesn't even compare to the finale, where all 3 ninjas make their final stand and defeat Ranmaru with the weapons he created specifically for them. This, after he had made it perfectly clear that the weapons have no effect on him.
Your sword cannot affect me, because I am the one who gave you the Sword of Sorcery in the first place.
So why does it all of a sudden affect you now, asshole? Ah, fuck it. It just means this whole worthless mess is ending, and indeed, Ranmaru bites the dust, as well as 2 of our lifeless protagonists, leaving Empty Vessel to continue on living. The end. God, talk about saving the worst for last. I mean, Ninja Cadets may have been pointless and dumb, but at least it was presented as intended. This is just insulting. It could very well be that the OVA series is a fine piece of animation and that it was sadly rendered unwatchable by this edited film. But of course, we'll never know thanks to some bootlegging jackasses. But even that situation doesn't account for the terrible reliance on exposition and the just sheer redundant nature of the dialogue. If they had to edit the anime, why didn't they edit the nearly 15 minutes of dry conversation about shit we already know? There's no two ways about it. Wrath of the Ninja is just abysmal and an utter waste of your 90 minutes. If you're gonna be an unintelligible, garbled mess, at least be entertaining, goddammit! Well, that was Ninja Month, and all I got to show for it is that I now hate ninjas. So, hopefully on to greener pastures with Amon Saga. Till next time. Long live your Lord High Regent Sage! Long live Benetopia!